Hello and welcome to another Sinister Sunday. Today we're going to Canberra, Australia, to find out why it's so haunted. From the Parliament building all the way down to its hotels. Let's see what sinister stuff is happening there. From the hotel haunted by the former Prime Minister to weird reportings around the parliamentary triangle, something strange is happening in the nation's capital. Canberra is often unfairly labeled as a ghost town for its lackluster nightlife and culture. But this moniker rings true for its supernatural attractions, which are an after-dark sensation with intrigued travelers. Many of the capital's famous landmarks, including accommodations and cultural institutions, have a spine-chilling past, which is unearthed on a unique ghost tour that is provided by Tim the Yowie Man. Local legend Tim became the Yowie Man after spotting an unidentified black hairy creature resembling a mythical man-beast called a Yowie. Tim spotted this creature in Canberra's Brindabella Mountains in 1994. Since then, Tim has been a passionate crypto-naturalist involving the study of strange and hidden phenomena. Tim says there's hardly a national institution or hotel in the area that is not harboring a pesky poltergeist or two. Canberra reportedly has a higher incidence of paranormal activity per capita than any other Australian city. Hotel Carajung. We start at the time-honored Hotel Carajung, where the ghost of the former Prime Minister, Ben Chiefeley, is said to haunt the first floor. The hotel has a rich history, starting with its construction in 1925 by the Commonwealth's chief architect, John Murdoch, who also designed the nearby Australian Parliament House. Originally built to house administrative and political staff. However, during the Great Depression, it transformed itself into a public hotel to avoid closure. Over time, the hotel served as accommodations for the Labour Party members visiting from other districts. Notable guests included John Curtis, who later became the Prime Minister during the Second World War. The hotel's popularity dwindled and eventually it closed its doors in 1976. 2 years later, the building was converted into offices for parliamentary staff. The hotel remained almost abandoned until 1993 when the Australian Capital Territory government financed its reopening and refurbishment, leading to its current success as a hotel. Another notable guest of the hotel was Ben Chiefeley, a Labour Party politician who would later become the Prime Minister. Chiefeley spent a lot of time in the hotel while he was working for the Royal Commission on Banking, which led to the nationalisation of private banks in Australia. When Chiefeley became the Prime Minister in 1945, he decided not to move into the lodge, the official residence of the Australian Prime Minister, but instead to move permanently into the hotel. In 1951, Chiefeley attended an event to celebrate 50 years of Australian autonomy, but later suffered a heart attack in his room at the Hotel Carajung and passed away. Ben passed away in room 214, which is now room 181, after suffering a heart attack on the night of June 13, 1951. The former Prime Minister is said to still haunt the hotel, with reports of sightings of a man in a gray suit walking around the property, often seen on balconies or near the window and pointing towards the Parliament House. Tim the Yowie Man says that Ben is your classic ghost. People see the outline of the gray-suited man standing in windows authoritatively pointing at the old Parliament House in the distance. Of course, he's a friendly chap, but he's only ever seen by those who aren't expecting him. Tim has been sleeping in his room every year around the same time of his death, but he's never actually seen Ben. He's a bit obsessed. Hyatt Hotel, Canberra. The next spectre site is the historic Hyatt Hotel. Built around the same time as the Karajang, the hotel harbors a pint-sized spook, a little girl in a red dress who knocks on doors in the dead of night. She allegedly burned to death in the boiler room in the 1930s. They say she was the daughter of one of the caretakers. She only haunts the older part of the hotel, Tim says. She's also friendly. It's almost comforting when people see her, like she's lost. However, in the past, the girl has caused some havoc. There are stories of pilots complaining they weren't getting enough sleep and wanted to be transferred to the newer part of the hotel after seeing her ghost. The old Parliament House is also renowned as one of the capital's most creepy buildings. One of the most frightening stories is of a phantom pair of legs seen wandering around the courtyard at night, which freaked out the security guards, Tim said. Many security guards over the years have requested transfers because they have had walkie-talkies ripped off their belts and thrown across the room, working the graveyard shift. Other terrifying reports include windows mysteriously going up and down at night and loud noises of metal keys scraping against stair railings. Other spooky sites in Canberra are the Hotel Acton, now Pepper's Gallery Hotel. A friendly ghost apparition turns on the shower in rooms on cold winter's nights. And then there's the National Library of Australia. A spirit of a sweaty man who was a pilot manifests itself in the library basement. Last on our list is the Government House. Several confirmed sightings of an Aboriginal spirit haunts the grounds of the Grand Residence. Tim, the Yowie Man, shares this reassuring advice for visitors. Don't worry if you come to Canberra and see a ghost. You're not going to be scared away. Sounds like a super interesting place. Do we really need nightlife when we have spirits roaming around? I mean, what's better than that kind of nightlife? Thank you guys so much for joining us for another Sinister Sunday. If you like this content, you could check out our Sinister Sunday playlist for more. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We'll see you next week.